Okay, we are talking about The Outer Worlds. The Outer Worlds is an action role playing game developed by Obsidian Entertainment and published by Private Division. The game was released for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows in October 2019, with a Nintendo Switch version released in June 2020. And I believe it is coming to Steam here next month. September right now, so it should be October 2020 because there was a big deal with Epic. You know, no one likes Epic. No one likes exclusives. It'll never go away. But they bought it for a year. So with the new DLC that just came out a couple days ago, I'd like to review that, and hopefully I could review it on Steam as well here in a couple weeks. But yeah, this game been about out just for about a month. I'm showing you the intro here real quick. Don't want to really spoil much. Just gonna kind of go over the overview of the game. I don't think I should be talking for the whole thing. How I can sum this game up is it feels like a better Fallout than Fallout. As you can see, this game just has some jokes. This is really like the only cutscene you'll see is the very beginning. But yeah, you know, this game came out in 2019, but honestly, it feels like it came out in like 2012, 2011. I view this the same as Fallout New Vegas. You know, it's made by Obsidian, so you have the people who basically made Fallout New Vegas, which originally had made the original Fallout, so there is a lot of things from that, which is not inherently bad, of course. But I will say with this game, and I will show it, it can be repetitive at times, especially in the combat. It does feel like, in my opinion, Fallout 3 and New Vegas, honestly. I mean, as fun as the guns are, um, the combat is pretty much the same thing over and over again. The gimmick in this game, as you'll see right here, that you can do is you slow down time and you can get extra damage critical shots on enemies, which, you know, that is cool. In a sense, it's like VATS from Fallout, just reworked. Honestly, I'd say it's almost like VATS from Fallout 76.
You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stings.
This game, and you know, a lot of, as you can see here, people want to crap on the facial animations. Yes, they're pretty clunky. Um, you know, it seems a little outdated. I feel like, I don't necessarily want to say a touchy subject, but you know, you have people saying, "Oh, well, it's 2020. Every game should look like Crisis Remastered, or every game should look like this. Every game needs to have that." And I agree, but also disagree, because just because a game has good graphics doesn't mean that it's a good game. You know, there's a reason why people still play old games like Legend of Zelda or Mass Effect. Those games are just good to play and have a great story. Graphics didn't matter there.
See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
But with this, as you can see, Persuade 1, Lie 1, I'm
You look like you know
trying to show off the best aspect of this game, which is the role playing aspect.
here. You can
The
have this.
biggest thing that they promised with the trailer
All spacers
is
show
that
weapons are
if you want to kill everyone, kill everybody. If you don't want to kill everybody, then don't. You can talk your way out of most situations, and I do honestly believe that this game does it a whole lot better than Fallout. You can legitimately take do whatever you want. If it tells you that you need to go to this person to do an important mission, but they want you to pay a ridiculous amount of money for an item, you can just kill them and it'll redirect the mission in a different way. So you have options, which I do like. It feels like I get to make my own choices. And some of the biggest things I do like about this game is being able to pick perks. but the more you do something in a way, you can unlock a perk or reject it. Like let's say you kill so many bugs or a lot of bugs attack you constantly. It'll give you the option of it lowers some of your base stats, but it gives you the ability to pick another perk. So you could have a lot of perks, but your base stats are kind of low. So it's a nice, you know, double-edged sword, but I like the idea of it. And yeah, I mean, I could honestly say, I mean, it sounds bad when I say it, but you could call this the best new mediocre game. I say mediocre because it's nothing new, but it's not bad. It's more of what you love to see. Everyone loves sci-fi, everyone loves role-playing games, and this game has a good mix of both. As you can see, this is the starting out. You get your pistol, your menu. I will say the weapon customization is pretty on point in this game. A nitpick I can think of would be I had wished you could change the color scheme, I suppose, or get different skins for weapons. But honestly, like that's no way a con. That's just my personal preference. But you can put silencers on guns. It'll visually change your gun. You can put different scopes. You can have it shoot electric bullets or corrosive bullets or plasma. So I do like that, and there's a decent amount of weapon variety. I do feel like it's kind of low overall because I had wished there were some changes they could make.
Shouldn't have done that. Space's Choice family ain't authorized to receive. We'll see him back to Edgewater just as soon as I cross these marauders off for this.
And right here, as you can see, persuade, lie, intimidate. There are many options you can do. But yeah, just quickly going back to the weapons, just you'll see overall the weapons seem to kind of function the same and honestly act the same. So once you kind of figure out which weapon you want, you'll basically stay with that for the rest of the game. And a little side note, at least for me, from my personal experience, is every weapon that I've made shoot electric bullets almost wipes anything out. And I have it on hard mode, so I don't know what else I added that could be enhancing that. But the electric bullets it wipes out robots, bugs, humans. Real kind of... It's not that it makes the game easy, but it's a easy thing that I found out that works. But this is definitely a game that I come back to just like I do Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas came out 9 years ago. I know this has only been out for a year. It is very disappointing that when you beat the game, that's it. You can't keep going. I freaking hate when games do that, especially open world role-playing games. I feel like that's like, the cardinal sin not to do that. Because I found out, I tried loading up my old save, and my save on my first account was at the last mission, so I was endlessly stuck there. So now that's all my effort is just stuck and gone there. So I had to switch to a new character, which is this footage now. As you can see, this is your onboard computer, which kind of reminds me of EDI from Mass Effect, but this is Ada, and I feel like it's a similar vibe, but she's full on, not sentient, but kind of acts sentient. It's very strange, but it's a nice addition. And I do feel like this game is a good mix between Mass Effect and Fallout. Obviously more towards Fallout. I do feel like Mass Effect would obviously be the better game in this category. But yeah, honestly, I don't think I'll be talking through this whole video. Great role-playing game. The combat can be repetitive. The enemies are kind of minimal, as in what I mean to say is there's only a few kinds of, I mean, there's humans, there's lizards, bugs, there's these like giant monkey things. So there's not really a whole lot of different enemies, which is not bad. It's just I do wish that there was more, since there's so many planets to explore. Speaking of which, now that I think about it, that's another thing. When I beat the game, it confused me and I had to Google it because there's like 8, 9 planets, but even when you're about to beat the game, there's like 3 or 4 of them that you can't even go to. It doesn't tell you anything about them. It doesn't tell you why you can't go to them. And so you're just sitting here wondering, okay, is this for DLC? And if so, that's kind of scummy because the game's been out for about a year. You've said nothing. You've never informed players on why we can't go to those planets. So, yeah, that was a little discouraging. But as you can see here, leveling up, basically there's trees, the dialogue, stealth, tech, leadership, guns, and then once you level that up to 50, then you can go down the sub branches of each skill tree and pick which one you really want to level up more. And then there's perks, the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I do like the leveling system in this game. It's done very, very well. And this, I mainly just wanted to show off kind of how your character looks with weapons. You will never get to see your character unless you're standing still or you're in the your inventory menu, or you press start and click idle camera. And so this is my character right now. I love the look of these helmets and this like thick raider armor. It is just a shame that they couldn't add a third-person camera because I'd be doing that a lot. But I wonder if they wanted to separate themselves from being a blatant Fallout clone, which, you know, once again, I don't know if you could call it a clone when technically these are the people who created it in the first place. So these are a couple of the followers you pick up towards the beginning. Vicar, Max, and Ellie, I believe is her name. Showing off the plasma carbine, like melee staff weapons. This is the plasma rifle with the shock mod. And you know, I do like the aesthetic of the game. There's so many kinds of different outfits. I mean, you can dress, as you can see, like a cowboy or a normal person, or full of armor, gas masks, suits, top hats, monocles, anything you want. But my favorite in the game is this, the heavy machine gun, favorite weapon in the game. This thing can literally, I think in most of the footage that I'm about to show, I use this primarily, which I know I shouldn't have. I should be switching the weapons. But this weapon is almost broken in my mind because it will literally kill anything instantly. And this right here, I'm just showing how, I mean, the dialogue works just like Fallout, as you can see, or really any old RPG. I shouldn't keep just compare it to Fallout, but as you can see, I do the lie or the persuade or intimidate, one of 3. And so you do persuade, you know, because it's like, hey, give me the research. She goes, okay. And then you say, hey, like, you know, I didn't do this for free. I kind of want money. And once you pick it, you can do the option to, you know, basically just keep asking for more. As long as your dialogue and persuade, I see persuasion 31, as long as you have the right, you can just keep going. So, in this game, I do very much recommend getting your persuasion up. All of your dialogue up all the way, because it will come in handy a lot. That and hacking are the 2 biggest things. And see, in this instance, my persuasion was 45, and enough for me to convince these people to stop fighting, and for this guy and his soldiers to leave. so there didn't have to be bloodshed. So yeah, there were a couple bandits I had to kill because I didn't have a choice necessarily. But overall, I got them to stop fighting without killing each other. So I was just trying to show off the role-playing aspect in this game. But I do believe after this scene, the rest is just combat scenes. Just so you get an idea of the role-playing aspect and the combat aspect. And watching the combat, I think you'll kind of understand how it's fun, but it can become very repetitive very fast. So this is outside one of the towns, and there's just a couple lizards. And as you can see here, your companions, as you'll see on the bottom left of the screen, the left on the D-pad and the right on the D-pad, it's for your abilities for your companions. Each companion has one like cinematic ability, as I call it. You click it and it does like a cinematic angle on them. They'll say or something or make a noise, and they'll shoot an enemy, and it can knock them out, it can kill them, it can be AoE, it can be DPS, anything. So the woman I have right now, she does like a quick fire cowboy thing, and Vicar Max, he has a sawn-off shotgun that'll knock people over. And with this character, it's always good to look at your surroundings, blow up canisters, stuff like that. And it does get to a point where my follower has a flamethrower, my other follower has, I believe, I gave her a pistol, but you can upgrade things pretty fast in this game and make weapons so OP that you and your team are almost unstoppable. I'm not going to say fully invincible, because fighting mantis queens and things like that, you will die pretty quick. And the gore in this game, as you can see, I blew off their heads. It explodes. Naturally, just by shooting them. If you shoot them with energy weapons, they'll melt. With normal guns, I think it depends on what you do, where it'll actually blow off heads and things like that. But yeah, I think I just wanted to show off the heavy weapons, sniper rifles, plasma guns, or plasma carbine. There's not necessarily, like I said, a variety, but what is there, it's not bad. As you can see with the plasma rifle, you can shoot just kind of lower damaging shots, or you can charge it for a real big blast. So I like having that option. I do wish the weapons had alt fire. That's a big thing. I wish more any game that involves having many guns and shooting guns, I wish they would implement alt fire. It would just be nice. And this, the heavy machine gun, favorite weapon, will just knock anything out. So yeah, these are the mantis bugs. You'll see, I'm hoping, and that was another thing, I know I've mentioned it before, but saving videos on my PlayStation and transferring to my computer, something is happening in the process where these videos are getting real messed up. So I'm hoping I can figure out what the issue is, because it is annoying to film something, record it, and then it's corrupted and won't work. It's very frustrating. So yeah, I appreciate everyone watching. I just finished The Boys episode 5, so I'm going to be making episode 4 and 5 review, and then Dragon's Dogma, just finished that, so I'll be making a video over that. I just really felt like talking about Outer Worlds, especially since Peril on Gorgon just came out. I'm excited to play that, new armor, new weapons, and since it's about to come on Steam, I'd love for people to really give this a shot. And yeah, that's all I can say about this game. I appreciate people watching me, listening to me. Hope I'm not too boring. So I am out. Thank you.